It took me a really long time to process if this was reality.
Huda Alvi and her husband separated last year after being married for 9 years with 3 children from previous marriages.
We were definitely struggling financially. We were just kind of pulled apart with so many things going on in our lives that the time to connect and spend time with each other and be honest with each other about what's happening, it was hard for us to do.
Lockdowns had Alvi and her husband Bub spending more time under the same roof, eventually bringing buried issues to the surface.
Things that you don't usually question, you kind of just slip it under the rug.
Bub's decision to file for a divorce shattered Alvi.
I'm in pain and I'm hurting.
But ended up being a blessing in disguise.
It came to light that there were many things that we were struggling with as a couple and as individuals as well. And there were a lot of things that I discovered that I probably wouldn't have discovered if it wasn't for the pandemic.
She took time to reflect on her marriage and her life.
Once you become a mother and a wife, a lot of your dreams and a lot of your aspirations kind of go underneath the table. I actually ended up going back to school, getting my real estate license. I ended up moving out on my own, which I've never done. I seem to have found myself again, and as a 36-year-old woman.
Bub also did some reflecting, and a year later, the unexpected happened.
I really didn't think or knew that me and my husband would get back together.
Alvi and her husband locked their reunion with a renewal of their vows in front of their kids.
Love and appreciate each other even during difficult times, and I think that's a lesson we all learned.
A national study by Finder Canada updated in March of this year shows about 15% of Canadians either broke up or divorced since the start of the pandemic. That's about 5 million Canadians. Relationship expert Jessica O'Reilly says that doesn't necessarily have to be negative.
For many, that means a happier relationship. For others, that means moving on to other things.
O'Reilly says the pandemic has taught us a lot.
There is growth in discomfort, and I think we spend our lives trying to avoid discomfort, and over the last 18 months, we've sort of done the opposite.
Which led many couples to being happier with or without their partner.
What's really important is that we continue to use the tools that we've developed throughout the pandemic.
Her advice for couples?
Emotional literacy, open communication. My needs are going to be different than your needs.
Sharmeen Somani, Global News.